Well, in the wake of Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest for her involvement with the late Jeffrey Epstein, U.S. Acting Attorney General for the Southern District of New York, Audrey Strauss, announced charges this afternoon.
Today, we announced charges against Ghislaine Maxwell for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually exploit and abuse multiple minor girls from the period of 1994 through 1997.
Well, according to the U.S. Attorney, Maxwell is an extreme flight risk, and she faces up to 35 years in prison if convicted. She's in her 50s, we should say. She went on to say that Maxwell has been hiding out in locations in New England since Epstein's arrest. That was a year ago. And she's going to make her first appearance in the New Hampshire federal court before she'll be transferred to Manhattan. I want to bring in Charlie Gasparino, who has been following this story very closely. You know this story very well. This is big news today, Charlie.
Yeah, it is big news because if there's anyone that knows the backstory fully of Jeffrey Epstein, there's plenty of conspiracy theories out there about who might have killed him. I still believe he committed suicide. Who was on his island? You know, there's always been speculation. Bill Clinton went to the infamous island that he owned that some of the crimes with the girls took place. He's denied it. Others have denied it as well. She probably, if she fesses up, can shed light. Here's kind of what I know just from speaking with people that are associated with this case is that the federal agents and prosecutors are going to be maxing out security around Maxwell, so to speak. They want to prevent another suicide like Jeffrey Epstein. They want her to have her day in court. They want to kind of get to the bottom of all the rest of this stuff. There's plenty of noise. I've done a ton of reporting on this. I can tell you the conspiracy theories about Jeffrey Epstein begin with he got off lightly on the first case because he helped prosecute Wall Street financial crimes following 2008. That's not true. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that she can provide evidence on. Again, I think the other thing is we know a lot about the crime, or we know substantially about the crime. What we don't know is how Jeffrey Epstein accumulated his massive wealth. I mean, there's still a lot of gray area there. I know somewhat about it. I know he was a money manager for some very powerful and influential and rich people. He made some money, but still, I think she could provide shed some light on that. And also, she could implicate others. I think one thing that she could do, she can clear others, including Alan Dershowitz, who's been dragged through the mud on this thing, the lawyer. Which not a lot of, and I'm saying this as a journalist, weighing the evidence of him being part of Epstein's scheme is pretty weak tea, or very weak, almost non-existently weak. And that's what it doesn't exist mostly, except for he said, she said. Maybe she can help clear some people's names that we're associated with. So that's where we are right now. This is big news. It was a long time coming. She apparently has $20 million, not billion, $1 million. It seems like a small amount of money for someone who was that associated with a guy who's worth a billion and was, keeping tabs on him. But, we'll see why, where that money came from. There was interesting, if you read the indictment, Cheryl, interesting stuff about money sloshing back and forth between her and Epstein. So we'll get to the bottom of that, why he was doing some of that stuff. So we're about to get some much needed light on this subject. I will say this, I was part of the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah. Yeah.
If there was one thing, Cheryl, that was really missing from that documentary, was some sort of an answer to how much money he made and where it went. They never really got there.
Well, what about Les Wexner from Victoria's Secret?
Well, Wexner was part of it, but you can't make $500 to $1 billion off of one guy. So, maybe you can. But
okay. I don't know.
We needed to bounce it around. I want to just switch gears for a minute because I broke some news early today about a July 8th date for opening bids on the New York Mets that Allen & Company, which is auctioning the Mets, has stated. That's what I'm getting from people who are bidding on this. And here's the interesting thing. What I've been told is that Alex Rodriguez, through J.P. Morgan, teamed up with Vinnie Viola and Mike Rapoli. Vinnie Viola, the former head of the New York Merc, founder of Virtue Financial, and Mike Rapoli, the vitamin water founder, that team will have enough money. That J.P. Morgan is telling people, I'm not there, so I've not done the audit, but J.P. Morgan is signaling to others that they will have, that A-Rod will, that they have raised enough money for A-Rod to have a bid.
Wow.
We shall see.
A-Rod and the Mets. I still trying to wrap my head around it, Charlie.
I believe it. I believe it when I see it.
So straight.
Just so you know. It's A-Rod and J, by the way.
He is. J-Lo. You're right. She's part of it, too. Charlie, thank you very much. Have a great 4th of July. Try not to work too much. Actually, take a day off.
I'm planning to take one day off.
Okay, good. You go for that. Charlie Gasparino, thank you very much.